Welcome back to the Forge. We're going to be looking at the third set of 18 sayings. And once again, we will be looking at them in their themed groups. Now, there is an unusual pattern which was revealed by Stephen Laurie in the Thomas Code, which we used in evolution. And the 18 has to be looked at in a completely different way. So if we look at it as groups of 3, there are 6 groups of 3. Or we can look at it in terms of 6s, and then there are 3 groups of 6s. So that if we look at it in 3s, the first group is made up of the first of the sayings in each 3. So we have 6 sayings in this first themed group, which is to do with accept and reject. So let's read those out so you can see how they come together. 3.1, as we know, this is a keystone saying, and it introduces itself because it contains the seek and find words within it. And as we spoke about previously in the introduction, it contains the theme which covers this 18, which is none other to hear them from. So let's read it in its entirety. 3.1, Jesus said, "Many times have you desired to hear these words which I speak to you, and you have none other to hear them from. There will be days when you will seek after me, and you will not find me." 3.4, "Whoever has it in his hand, to him shall be given more, and whoever does not have it, from them shall be taken even the little that they have." 3.7, "Whoever blasphemes against the Father will be forgiven, and whoever blasphemes against the Son will be forgiven. But whoever blasphemes against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven, either on earth or in heaven." 3.10, "A man cannot ride 2 horses or draw 2 bows, nor can a servant serve 2 masters, or he will honor one and disrespect the other. A man does not drink old wine and immediately desire to drink new wine. They do not put new wine into old wineskins, or they will burst, nor do they put old wine into new wineskins, or it will spoil. They do not sew an old patch on a new garment, because it will split." 3.13, "Grapes are not harvested from thorns, nor figs gathered from thistles. They do not yield fruit. A good man brings forth goodness from his storehouse, and a bad man brings forth evil from his evil storehouse, which is in his heart. And he says evil things, for out of the abundance of his heart he brings forth evil things." 3.16, "They asked, 'Is circumcision beneficial or not?' He said to them, 'Were it beneficial, their father would bring them from their mother circumcised. However, the true spiritual circumcision has become entirely beneficial.'" So let's look at the theme of the entire group, because there is a lot of information there. All of them carry the same theme, which is accept or reject. And actually, as a collective, what we're being asked to look at is our internal views of the world around us, how we respond to it, and also our internal programming. What makes us like one thing and disregard another? we have this comparative mindset within us. We like some things and we reject others. And all of these sayings, however different their individual stories are, lead us to that same place. And it is asking us to do this test. Why do we accept a particular set of ideas or thoughts and beliefs and disregard or disrespect or reject a different set? Because across the world, you'll find that if you see the world in one way, somebody will see it in the exact opposite. And so all of those different perspectives are out there, and depending on where you live, they are accepted or rejected. And it is that place as individuals on the path that we need to be very, very aware of. How do we instantly respond or react? Can we develop within us that sharp sort of awareness that sees how we respond to the world? That's where this is taking us. Accept or reject. So within these, we have sayings like 3:10. A man cannot ride two horses or draw two bows. That's very Zen, isn't it? It's like a Zen koan. And it's telling us you cannot continue with the ideas and thoughts and beliefs and perhaps the religion that you have if your calling is taking you in another direction. You cannot try and keep those two going. You need to go down one route or another route, accept or reject. 3:16 introduces us to an interesting thought, which is circumcision beneficial? Well, as we know in Judaism, male boys are circumcised on the 8th day. And Jesus is questioning the benefit of that. He's saying, well, surely if there was a benefit to it, you'd be born without a foreskin to begin with. But then he says to us that a spiritual circumcision is beneficial. And once again, that is for the individual. That's to do with division. He's saying for those individuals who are taking their own path, you need to cut yourself off, literally, from the practices and the ideas and the religious rituals and the thoughts that are there in order to go off down your own path. So I'd like to look at these in terms of their collective theme rather than as individual sayings. The collective theme is accept or reject. And again, we're being asked to look internally and externally. We're being asked to look at our own thoughts and behaviors and programs and patterns and fears and habits, and look at how we respond and react to what's going on around us and internally. We have as individuals this comparative mindset, and we all grow up in that, and we're asked to look at the world and compare one thing to another, and those things we like, those things that we hate, those things that we accept, those things that we reject out of hand. And fascinatingly, we reinforce those every single day. They're part of the way that the familiar self works. You know yourself through the way that you respond to your thoughts and you respond to the world around you. It's part of the fight-flight thing. We constantly look at the world in this comparative way, and it's how we know ourselves. So what's laid before us in these 6 sayings are ideas or themes or thoughts that carry within them that accept or reject. And they're all laid out there one after another. Now, we explore those in detail in evolution. And as individual sayings, they each carry a message for us. But here it is that collective theme which is important to us. So as you go through your day, as you develop that inner awareness, just watch what happens in every situation and how you automatically compare the world to the set standards that you have internally, and whether it's possible for you to break that mold and see the world in a wider sense rather than through that narrow filter which is within you.